What is really great about calling the name of this program the city design and not necessarily urban planning and urban design, which are more known terms for the type of knowledge we're trying to grow in the program, is that it allows us to think about what kind of a practices spatial practitioners, designers can emerge in various different ways that can design in and for the cities in the future. We are living through such a fundamental change on so many levels. Challenges that are brought by climate collapse, various migration struggles around housing provision, around properly heated or properly cooled places, and all these are fundamentally issues of city design. It's not about focusing on one scale. It's capacity to think across scales. It's capacity to understand how do you design a process which brings many different stakeholders in conversation and in a way that allows certain hierarchies of knowledges or importance of stakeholders to be challenged.
As a small and kind of intimate course, we develop really strong kind of cross-module relationships with students. We are all colleagues and friends, and we encourage that kind of collaborative way of working with our students. We ask questions of each other and we make demands of each other, and we kind of grow together, really.
We have a dedicated space where students work in, and we hope that that space becomes a place where when we conduct tutorials, it's being led by the student themselves, and we hopefully act as a helpful guide and soundboard.
We're really interested in engaging with the 99%. We're really engaging with the communities on the ground. We are in service to those communities as designers. So the way that we think about them in our studios is, rather than it being a development or developing a city, the way we're thinking about it is actually how do we engage with the most challenging urban contexts in the world and think about alternative futures for those cities with the communities on the ground rather than from the top down. It's really from the bottom up.
Field trips are a really important part of the curriculum because it allows us to move away from our safety bubble and enter into different space. Depending on the studio, these field trips are either connected to having an encounter with those communities, organizations, policymakers, from which is your case study about. But it also allows you to see how certain processes work in different places, even though they don't produce the same results.
Both the trip to Cairo and a focus on Gaza, it really focuses students, specifically myself, to think about city design and your existence within space within a city in relation to struggles that exist today. We're not just studying historical cities, we're not thinking about future cities, we're thinking about the current lived experience of people within a space that was once a functioning city, a space that can be rebuilt to be a functioning city, how infrastructure affects day-to-day of people's lives. So it's very grounding.
City design nowadays is such an interesting topic because we are facing so many different crises like climate change, war, population growth, and we have so much different infrastructure. And I think nowadays it's just really interesting to see how we can shift that in order to create really livable and open cities to everyone. We get to work with many different students, whether it's in interior design, in environmental architecture, in architecture. And this kind of like skill set exchange is really interesting, but also opens doors to like many different disciplines. This idea of being able to develop my own ideas and my own directions without necessarily having to stick to the program is quite vital, because I still have that opportunity to take a path of my own while still completing the course, which is so good, so interesting, yeah.
We understand that city design is incredibly complex. We don't hide away from that complexity of real life because we are in the safety of academia. We are actually trying to teach you through engaging as much as possible with complexity, with a pedagogical approach that if you can learn in the super complex case studies, you will be able to practice in a hopefully less complex context.